Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Monday, January the 29th, 2024. It was a pretty quiet day, actually, a little bit just like very contained in a very small range. And then this afternoon, God bless our Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. She kind of got out there and she got up on the old stump and she was asking questions or answering questions, but she ended up saying a couple of dovish things. And particularly, it's like, Treasury's it's not spending as much money now. Really? Okay. So what's that mean? We're going to come down from 34 trillion to 33.95? I don't know. But it was enough for algorithms to go trigger, and triggered they got. So we broke up out of this triangle, I believe, at least here in the NASDAQ. So how I'm labeling this now, again, I'm here on the hourly chart starting in the NASDAQ. And we're still in that minor fifth wave. We still have completed 1, 2, 3, and I am now putting into place minute wave 4. And it was a very strange, but it was a fulfilled pattern, and that it was an A, B, C, D, E. And is it a perfect triangle? No, it really isn't. In fact, it's kind of pretty sloppy. And it really felt like it could have just kept going, because we have here, it looks like it looks like a 3 and a 3, and then suddenly it just launched. But what I believe it really ends up being, if I can open this up a little bit, is this ends up being 1 and this ends up being 2, and that's 1, 2, 3. Now this all could be in wave 1 of 5. It really can. I am not going to rush this count. We have got some big reports coming out this week, all the way, starting tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Big days, big days. We have Apple, we have Amazon, we have AMD, we have Google, we have Meta, Microsoft, we have Tesla's already been out, NVIDIA comes out at the end of the month. Those are the big boys. So we have the Magnificent Seven, and out of that we have Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, Tesla, NVIDIA. Tesla's already reported. Actually, I don't know if they're even a part. Tesla's even a part of the Mag 7. But we got 5 out of the 7 reporting. So we could get some fireworks going here. Now, to sit and go like, oh, they're all going to blow the doors off, that, you know what, that might happen. And then we'll be looking at 19,000 in this market. Right? There it is. 1.382 for the irregular B. And I imagine you think, my God, that's so far off. It's like, well, considering what the market is capable of doing, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you would have to believe at this stage, to blow off that top, it would just have to go and just go and like in a dead panic. Because it's like, you have to think, it's like, why would people sell up here? There's no points of resistance. There's no points of well, gee, that's as far as it can go, or et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be very interesting. Should we really start to break hard to the upside again? You know, there just is not much that we can pull to say, oh, that should stop it, or this should stop it. Okay, so bringing it back down. What do we have initially coming up here? We have, I still think it's just going to be wave 1 now. Now we're down to the minuet degree. Minuet wave 1 of minute wave 5. Now, 0.618 is a part of minute wave 5. But we already know that 0.618 is not the most common. The most common, when we're comparing a fifth wave to a first wave, is equality, 100%. So it's 18,124, 125, as we'll call it. Now, that would be the equality, and very, very reachable in my book. So beyond that, now we're over to the primary B wave. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm breaking this down so that we can see what gets associated with what. And just to kind of open this up so that we can pull in, because this is the minor wave 5. This is the B wave, the primary B wave. So primary wave B would be 1.236 of primary wave A at 18,250. Well, we can jump back to the minor, all right? Let me just open that up. The minor fifth wave comes in 1.618. So in other words, 100% come and gone. Been exceeded. I took it off the chart. It would just be sitting there putting a line on the chart that really starts to confuse what we're doing. So I took it off. So on a minor fifth wave basis, we default back down to the minute fifth wave, because if we can count up 5 within minute wave 5 and we're reaching up into a resistance level that is capable of completing it, then yes, in turn it's going to be completing the minor fifth wave, whether or not it gets to 1.618. As I said over the weekend, it really becomes that we're going to be looking for the structure of the move itself. So we got to lay out all the possibilities. I mean, the other possibility, and I'm being serious here. I'm not sure how we'll all figure out, but what if this is going to end up being, a larger wave 1 of a minor 5? And, there are other scenarios that you can put into place here, which would suggest this thing's a monster wave. But it has to have the backing. Now, again, and I'm going to shout that out, give the shout out when we're over in the NASDAQ. But I'll do it right now, and it is something that, and the acronym that was used, so that shows up within YouTube for me, is Mr. Monopoly. I'm giving you a shout out because you had talked about with the S&P how you felt that the MACD looked like it was doing a reset and getting ready to launch. And boy, good call. Thank you so much for providing the information, and everybody else that read it. When you saw it start to happen, thank you, Mr. Monopoly. All right, back to the NASDAQ. We are getting that same type of launch here in the MACD, the hourly MACD within the NASDAQ, now pointing very strongly higher. So I'm looking for this to kind of continue. Now, what else could it be? Well, I don't know. Now, here we are looking at it this way, just kind of opening up inside, right? I got a 1 and a 2, and then we're up in a 3. That's kind of the best I can do right now. Because we came down, we hit that early, and then they just rallied it. That was a strong little move. And then we paused, and then we did nothing. And then at 2 o'clock, thank you, Janet. Boom, boom. Little pullback, as should be expected. But if we just go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we get a 5. So is it 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe? 1 of 3? So again, it just depends. It just depends on how this all unfolds. But these are the possibilities. Possibility is this is not a wave 3, but it's wave 1. Minuet wave 1 of minute wave 3. And this is minuet wave 2 of minute wave 3. Now we're talking like monster waves. Like, I live in the state of California, and the Mavericks, which takes place outside of Half Moon Bay, is probably about an hour south, and that's only because you have to drive on the windy Highway 1 going along the coast of California. But these are waves that kind of come rolling in during the winter, and they're 40 feet high. So monster wave in terms of what it could be. But I can't disqualify anything at the moment, because you turn on an algorithm and you turn on, just got to go. There's nothing to stop it. We have levels, but I think it could just be where people could be willing to, I bought it here, I'll sell it here type of a deal. But unless somebody else is coming up with resistance levels, I just don't see that many because we've never been up here before. So once we get above this level, we will be in new all-time high territory yet again. And we closed right at 17,700. So we got all the way back up there. After yesterday, touching 17,457. So in actuality, it was a pretty strong rally. So that's the NASDAQ. I will continue to run fibs, and for me, I bring them all the way down, folks. I really start looking, at a 15-minute chart so I can get closer. See, there's the 1 and the 2, and the 1, 2, 3, and another little tiny triangle. So is it 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 3, 4, 5, a 3, 4, 5 of 3? It's going to go. It's going to get crazy. And I think there's just so much nothingness. We're out in the outer limits of, we've not been here. But if they continue to buy these, it's like NVIDIA, going to new all-time highs. And right now, it closed at 624. They're bidding 632.33. Once they get above 38, which I believe is the existing all-time high for NVIDIA, it's out of this world. It's going to go. So, a lot of things going on. I do expect pullbacks notwithstanding for the market to continue to move higher. So we'll see how this all pans out. Over in the S&P, it's not as easy. It's definitively not as easy. Look at that. Remember yesterday when I was talking, I was like, okay, we got an A and this is a B, and then we're looking for a flat to come down. It didn't get much past, it got to 49.01 on this low here this morning, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. The start of Globex at the 49.01, and then just started to rally, and then boom, hit it hard. So I started to think, okay, if this has to be for what in God's green earth is all of this? And it could be the forming of a diagonal triangle for minute wave 5. Or, God forbid, but here we go again. It could be wave A, and this is all a B wave, irregular B wave within minute 4. Now, I'm just going to put it there. We go look at these levels. Oh, I didn't do it right. So I want to draw that one. All right, let me do that over so that I can get it right. Now we're going to go here. I'm going to add a drawing. It's going to be there, and I'm going to put it down to there. It's not going to be right, but we're close enough for government work. Edit 3. And I actually don't need all those. I just want to go look at these. Get that. 1.382. I wanted to show that to you. We got above it. That is the most common for an irregular B. So if that's the case, we're going to come flying back down. And still. And then really what this turns into is we start coming off of this, and it comes down 1.618. So this was 33 and this was 749.57. So that's about 12, let's call it 20 points. And we're going to go 20 points below here. We're down to here. That's why I've left these. That's the alternate, one of the alternates. Otherwise, it's A, B, C, 1. Let me see. Wait a minute. A, B, C. 1, 2, 2. Yeah. A, B, C, 1. A, B, C, 2. And this is not working out, but I think I did it before. That's how strange it is. That's how strange it is. Trying to figure out, okay, if this has got to be a part of a minute fifth wave and it's in the rally, what is all this? This part fits. Okay, yeah, you launched. Is it a very strange triangle pattern? Because that's the other thing, right? A, B, C, D, E, launch. But it's actually got to form the triangle, and none of it is fitting. If somebody else has a better idea, please take a picture of your chart and put it in the comment section. But in the meantime, I am going to be considering that this is all part of this minute fifth wave, as ugly as it is. The one thing it does fit, topping pattern. Blow off, a lot of trouble, low volume. Even in that blow off, the volume was like, whoa, you think they might pick up the volumes. So in any case, what do we have going above? They were here before. So I've connected minute wave 1 to minute wave 4. And 618, we know it's a resting point. And we're close. 49.71, 49.72. And then we have, coming back out, come on, come on. All right, let me get off the 15-minute chart and go back to the hourly and open this up. Then we have here, that's minute, and we have going up. Sometimes, because so much is gone, we got to pull this all the way open so I can see. Out here at 49.92 is for minor wave 5. And that again, could it? Yeah, it could. But if we're inside this fifth, I think we could get up to it and we should go above it because minute wave 5 projects to equality at 5,023.22. And again, remember, we got that call wall, quote unquote, we got a call wall sitting at 5,000 in the SPX. So it's going to equal about 5,025 in the futures market. So around there. So there it's it. Could that do it? Yep, it could. What's above it? Now we're talking in the primary. And then we're talking the C wave. Primary wave B, we got 51.16. Intermediate wave C equaling intermediate wave A, we've got that at 52.55. Minute wave 5, we have 1.618 at 51.05. 2.618 at 52.39. And then we have the primary B wave again. This is all lining up at 53.07, 1.382. So we got continuing, if this minor fifth wave just goes, if the minute fifth wave just goes, yeah, we've got levels. And they line up with other fibs from other sections of this whole rally phase. So yes, the market, I believe, may have turned the corner to get itself going within this minute fifth wave. And that's, of course, without coming down there first. What a disappointment. But that is completing 3 down, and it did put in a low below. So I'm not sure what it could be. I'm going to continue to work on it, and anybody else, please leave a comment. An intelligent one, though, okay? And then I'm going to continue to look for upside here. Now again, 49.65, I'm hearing there should be some resistance there, so some people got a fib that comes in there. 49.70 to 49.75, 49.90 to 5,000. That would be kind of like, you know, you got to go by the big number, the big nice round number. Okay, so there you got the MACD. Did it reset? Sure did. Look at that. Reset and launched. Again, thank you, Mr. Monopoly. But RSI, getting a little bit overcooked. Would need to come down a little bit, maybe. Could this turn again? Yeah, we've seen it before. All right, I'm going to finish it up right there. Our next update will be on Tuesday, January the 30th. And again, on the 30th, we have AMD. And let me just go through there. No, AMD's on the 15th. I apologize. We have Amazon. Come on, get out of there. That was AMET. Sorry. We do have AMD on the 30th. And we have Amazon on Thursday. Google. Come on, folks. Google, I definitely don't want to be doing that. Google on the 30th. So we have AMD, Google, and Microsoft tomorrow. Microsoft probably being the biggest one there. All right, next update, Tuesday, January 30th.